This is a true story. Have you ever been lost? Not just geographically, but spiritually? Like you're treading water in a sea of questions without an anchor in sight. Well, today's story is about just that. About a young woman named Sarah, who found herself in the turbulent waters of uncertainty. Let's delve into her tale. Sarah was a high school senior. She had dreams as big as the sky and ambitions that burned as bright as the sun. Her thirst for knowledge was insatiable. She devoured books like they were oxygen and tackled every challenge as if it were a mountain she was destined to climb. Yet amidst this whirlwind of achievement there was a void. Sarah felt like she was merely skimming the surface of life, never truly diving deep into anything. She was a kaleidoscope, a beautiful array of talents and interests, but lacking the defining focus that would turn potential into purpose. Her parents, bless them, were loving and supportive. They provided her with the resources and opportunities that many wouldn't have dreamed of. But it wasn't until her father, a successful businessman himself, suggested a gap year that Sarah's eyes began to open. A gap year, a pause between chapters, a chance to breathe. The idea both scared and excited her. What if she wasn't cut out for university? What if she wasted a year that could have been filled with classes and career advancement? Yet there was a persistent whisper inside her urging her to take the leap. With her parents' blessing, Sarah embarked on her gap year journey. She started volunteering at a local animal shelter, hoping to find solace in the unconditional love of animals. But while she enjoyed it, it didn't ignite the spark she was seeking. Next, she enrolled in a pottery class, drawn to the idea of creating something tangible from raw materials. But after a few weeks, she realized that while she appreciated the art form, her passion lay elsewhere. Discouraged, she began to question whether she was simply not capable of making such a big decision. Was she selfish for not pursuing higher education, disappointing her family's expectations? The pressure mounted. One evening, amidst the chaos of her thoughts, Sarah stumbled upon an online article about someone who took a gap year to travel and ended up finding their passion and purpose. Hope rekindled, Sarah decided to explore the world. She saved money for months, meticulously planning her trip. And when the day finally arrived, her excitement knew no bounds. As she boarded the plane, leaving behind the familiar streets of home, she felt a mix of anticipation and trepidation. It was like stepping off the edge of a cliff, believing that the wings would catch her on the way down. Her journey took her to bustling cities, serene landscapes, and everything in between. With each passing day, she learned more about different cultures, broadened her perspective, and confronted her own biases. Yet there were times when the weight of her decision pressed heavily on her. Would this extended break hinder her long-term prospects? Would returning home feel like admitting defeat? The doubts swirled, threatening to engulf her. In Thailand, however, something remarkable happened. While visiting an elephant sanctuary, Sarah met a fellow volunteer, Maya. Maya was a gap year student from India. Unlike Sarah, who had traveled extensively, Maya had chosen to stay close to home, immersing herself in local volunteering opportunities. Over cups of ginger tea under the shade of a mango tree, Maya shared her experiences. Sarah listened, intrigued. It turned out that Maya's gap year had been a transformative experience. She'd discovered her passion for wildlife conservation and was now considering pursuing a career in it. Hearing Maya's story gave Sarah a new lens through which to view her own journey. It was during this conversation that Sarah realized the true essence of taking a gap year. It wasn't just about traveling or finding one's passion, it was about growth, understanding, and self-discovery. As Sarah continued her travels, she kept this newfound perspective in mind. She engaged with locals, volunteered in various projects, and most importantly, reflected deeply on her experiences. She began to understand that the value of her gap year wasn't in reaching a definitive conclusion, but in the personal evolution that came from embracing the unknown. Upon returning home, Sarah was a changed person. She was more open-minded, empathetic, and self-aware. Although she still didn't have a clear-cut plan for her future, she was brimming with stories, insights, and a newfound sense of purpose. Sharing her experiences with her friends and family not only inspired them, but also reinforced her sense of personal growth. Now, equipped with a broader perspective, Sarah decided to pursue a degree in international relations, a field that aligned with her passion for cultural understanding and global awareness. More importantly, she joined several student organizations focused on global citizenship and sustainable development, activities that would have seemed out of place in her previous persona. Years passed, and Sarah's life unfolded in ways she had never imagined. Her gap year became the foundation upon which she built her career, relationships, and personal values. She traveled for work, lived in different countries, and most importantly, remained connected to her roots, advocating for causes close to her heart. One evening, reflecting on her journey over a cup of coffee, Sarah realized that her gap year wasn't just a detour, it was a redirection. It led her to a life that was richer, more meaningful, and deeply fulfilling. She understood that sometimes taking a step back is not a setback, but a strategic move to gain a better perspective, to realign one's path, and to discover a deeper sense of purpose. Have you ever taken a leap of faith, even when the outcome was uncertain? Share your story. Your experience could inspire someone else to trust the journey. And remember, sometimes the most daring adventure is the one that leads you back to yourself.